Shalom again, everybody. Ariel Tzadok here from the KosherTorah School, found online at www.KosherTorah.com. Bringing to you today's daily lesson in Sefer Yetzirah. We are in lesson 76 today, dedicated, of course, to the safety, the health, the well-being, and prosperity of everybody everywhere during these trying and interesting times. Now, what about times? How curious is it? How interesting the changes that we see every day. We look around, especially those of you who pay any attention to what's happening in the world, especially any of you who try to put your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the world today, you will experience the permutation effect that our Sefer Yetzirah is talking about. Now, in our previous few lessons, I've actually taken you through some of the meditative techniques that we use from the text. I gave you a reference to the bet. I gave you a full example with the letter Gimel. You can apply all the other letters and all the other correlations based upon that worksheets that I've already handed out to you. We do not need, at least I don't think so, doing an individual lesson for each and every one. Kind of like, cut and paste, fill in the blanks kind of stuff. If you just get the technique down, then you'll be able to apply the technique in all the different positions, in all the different 7 perspectives, and take this pretty much the same as we'll apply it into the next chapter, chapter 5, to the 12 elementals. But with all that being said, today we're going to go on a journey. We have a very interesting Mishnah here in Mishnah number 15. Mishnah 15 elaborates to us, it opens up the word Sheva Kefulot Beged Kaporet, the 7 doubles, all right, Beged Kaporet are 7 letters. And then it says Shebehem Nehakakin, with which are engraved or engrave, and then it elaborates 11 times the word 7. 711, that's the original. And it tells us a whole bunch of different things. Let's read the 11, and let's just mention them so we can talk about them. Sheva Olamot, 7 worlds. Sheva Reki'in, 7 heavens. Sheva Aratzot, 7 lands or worlds or earths. Sheva Yamim, 7 seas. Sheva Neharot, 7 rivers. Sheva Midbarot, 7 deserts. Sheva Yamim, 7 days. Sheva Shavuot, 7 weeks. Sheva Shanim, 7 years. Sheva Shemitin, 7 Shemitas. Shiva Yovalot, 7 jubilees. Those are the 11. And then it says V'hechal HaKadosh, and the holy palace. Curious, that makes 12. Lefichach, therefore, Chaviv at the Shviot Tachat Kol HaShemayim. Therefore, is the 7's beloved under all the heavens. Curious. We enumerated 12, correct? The word beloved, chaviv, is hey, het, bet, bet, which is also numerical value, gematria, 12. Okay, that's cool. We have then the last Mishnah of chapter 4, which really, it of itself isn't really speaking about the Beged Kaparet. So this is the final reference to the Beged Kaparet, the 7 double letters in the Sefer Yetzirah. Okay, cool. You know what? This is what I would have thought. That if I'm mentioning 7, I would have mentioned 7 sevens. All right? 7 this, 7 that, 7 sevens to show how important 7 is. But no, I have 11 here. And 1, the Hechal HaKadosh, which is 11. And then I have everything under the heaven. Okay. Is it time to be confused? Is it time to question? Or is it time to understand? Now, let's get a little bit deep. And we talk about going down rabbit holes. Well, let's go down a rabbit hole. In our previous classes, I talked to you about what you can expect in meditation. And I advised, please do not go thinking that some 50-foot angel is going to come tearing the roof off your house, coming down from heaven like an experience out of your favorite science fiction television program or movie. All right? This is not fantasy. This is real. But now here's your question. What is real? We look around our world today and we think we understand reality. Modern science, especially with the discovery of quantum physics, recognizes that that which we think is so real isn't very real at all. Go back a century and a half, and look at the hubris, the arrogance of the best scientists of the day, who stood there proudly thumping their chest and says, we are almost at the pinnacle of understanding natural law. We have almost everything that there is with a few small little things. There's nothing else to discover. Needless to say, they were proven so fundamentally wrong in such a short time. Well, you have that same arrogance today, closed-mindedness, by those who refuse to permutate letters, look beyond the boundaries of the box, and want to say, this is the way things are, and that's just the way it is, and we have to stay within these parameters, and we can't jump anymore. We can only take steps with our feet chained down. Well, if that is your attitude, then you're right. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to understand how to put a bet with all the letters, a gimel with all the letters, a dalet with all the letters. This is not a magical formula. This is a psychological construct which directs you to results. Not fantasaical results, the likes of which you might expect, but realistic results, the likes of which you have never experienced. What are those results? Answer: travel. Travel in mind, travel in thought. Understand something right now. The human mind, not the organic brain up here in the noggin, but the mind, that essence which is truly you, your what we call soul, your neshama. Remember that breath, that ruach we talked about way back when in chapter 1? That true essence of you, me, us. Number one, there's no you, me. It's not even an us. It's a singularity. We call that singularity Havaya, or Yud-Ke Vav-Ke. That is the true nature, the reality of everything around us. Now, with that being said, with modern science clearly documenting and understanding the nature of what we call quantum entanglement, which proves, you like that word? Because it's true. Something that's faster than the speed of light itself, which is quantum entanglement, flipping particles, the speed of thought. And the speed of thought happens in a dimension outside of our three-dimensional space-time reality. It happens in that domain called consciousness. Well, that domain of consciousness is you and me, and we are there right now. We are living right this very second in a fourth and a fifth and a sixth and even a seventh dimensional reality, all of which is blocked out by the organic brain, which limits our perception to this three-dimensional world. So, with that being said, many people, especially those of a meditative point of view, feel that they want to explore, go beyond. Some feel lost, they need to go home, whatever. They are sensing the disconnect between our higher reality, which exists right now, and the lower reality, in which we have, in a sense, exiled ourselves into. Now, this is all spoken about in great detail in Kabbalistic literature, even in many of the Vedic teachings. They refer to this reality as the Maya, the illusion. We call it in our Kabbalah the Klipa. Well, guess what? You's got it. That's right. So when I practice the proper form of the prophetic techniques, like I told you yesterday, you're meditating, focusing, however and whatever form that you do. Letters and vowels and this and that, and your mind is starting to break the limitations of structure, and imagination is starting to flow in. Guess what? You start to realign, tap into your own higher self, your own deeper unconscious. And sometimes it is experienced as something foreign from you. You don't even recognize that it's yourself. You will therefore interpret it to be something different, someone else. And you might call it your spirit guide, your magid, your totem. It's you. Where do you go? That's why this Mishnah is here. You will travel in mind at the speed of thought to the 7 worlds, to the 7 heavens, to the 7 earths, to the 7 seas, to the 7 rivers, and to the 7 deserts. Where are these places? Well, let's just take out a map. Let's see. We got the 7 worlds. Well, where do we have worlds? Notice it doesn't say stars, kochavim. So don't go thinking Saturn and Jupiter and Mars and the rest. We don't know what the 7 worlds are. Or do we? We refer to other dimensional planes, and we give them all kinds of names. In the writings of Hayim Vital, he will refer to them as the palaces of the world of Hacia. Now, what does that mean? Palaces are other realms or domains, dimensions maybe, in what we call this physical world of ours called Hacia. But here's something people don't get. Hacia is the physical world of matter right around us, the three-dimensional 3D world of space-time. And there are other worlds therein. There are other dimensions herein. Modern science even knows this. We look at our world and everything that we see, they think is only 5% of the ultimate reality of the physical universe. Beyond that, there's something called dark matter, which they know is there, but they don't know what it is. Beyond that, something called dark energy. They know it's there, but they don't know what that is. So they say. All of this makes up the physical universe. We haven't even gotten into what we call the astral plane yet. All of these other domains are the other palaces or levels or dimensions in the Asiatic physical domain. And you and I can go there, and often do go there, on a regular basis, many a time through dreams, visions, and meditations. When the other entities or messengers from higher dimensions, we call them angels, messengers, malachim, when they come to speak to us, they don't enter our physical domain here. This is the big argument, if you will, between the 2 great sages, Maimonides and Nachmanides, whether or not angels become corporeal. Because they really do appear corporeal, but they're not corporeal within our world. Now, I discuss a lot of this in the Etz Chaim Gate 50 series. I've put links to it in many of the previous lessons. I'll put a link to it in this class as well. 7 worlds are out there. They are different domains, different places that you can go astrally. When you do this correct, rather than that 50-foot angel coming to you, you go there. You will not necessarily need a roadmap, but that intuitive element within you guides you. And you, some will call it astral project, some will call it travel in mind. Enoch come to mind, Elijah, they went there physically. Moshe Rabbeinu, physically. You and I can follow in their footsteps astrally, because we leave this physical body here as we go. The 7 heavens. 7 heavens very well may be actual planets. When we refer to the place in heaven called Zevul, and that there is the heavenly temple up there, we have the heavenly Ark of the Covenant, which was shown to Moses and Bezalel and told that's the image that you replicate here on earth. And the ark on earth will open a connection to the ark in Zevul. That's a wormhole that we're talking about. Oh, yes, it is. And that wormhole was activated by the breastplate of judgment and the Urim and Tumim, the stones and the secrets of the breastplate worn by the high priest. Now, did it open up a wormhole at the likes of which you might see in some of the television programs like Stargate? No, I doubt it. But it opened up a real one nevertheless. We call it the kavod. And if you approach it without proper preparation, you don't make it back alive. Remember Nadav and Avihu. Let's move on. The seven lands. The seven lands? No, you're going to have to refer to the continents. In our tradition, we're referring to, let's be blunt, hollow or inner earth. Hollow or inner earth is said to be the place where in which our humanity began. Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, all come from within. The Ark of the Covenant was supposedly taken away to inner earth. You supposedly have members of the high priesthood, of the sons of Tzadok, and the true Bnei Rachav, who are alive today in inner earth. If you would take a needle and you point directly down under the Temple Mount, go hundreds of miles down to inner earth, that's supposedly where the inner temple is built. And these serve along with someone very special who's supposedly in a special place called the bird's nest. And that was an abductee. He was abducted from earth on the 9th day of the Hebrew month of Av in 586 BCE, according to the legend. And from there, he was given, through an alteration, obviously, of his DNA, a long lifespan and countless millennia of education. According to the legend, it is this abductee who will then come with an army from inner earth to conquer the surface world. Oh, we call that one Mashiach. Go read the ancient legends about that. See my book, Aliens, Angels, and Demons. This is all well documented in the words of our holy sages. The seven seas, the seven rivers, the seven deserts. Due to shortage of time, I don't have to bother getting into that right now. But the 7 days, the 7 weeks, the 7 years, and the 7 Shemitahs. Let's digress because it is well documented. Go on to KosherTorah.com. Go and do a search on the website for Shemitah. Shemita. I spell it an H at the end. Go, I think also on YouTube I might have some videos on it. Definitely audio. The Pre-Adamic civilizations. Those who were here before us. Those who are still here and will return. I try to tell this to the guys out at Prometheus with regards to our ancient alien programs. We were never visited by, guys from out there who come down here just curiously to take a look. No, they are us. They've always been us. The disclosure, what our government desperately conceals, isn't that we've made contact with little gray guys with ray guns, from, all the way out there, but rather we have been in contact with, in touch with, and under the subjugation of them. Those who have always been here. Those whose job and role it is to monitor and look after us. In accordance, to the divine edict. And those who rebelled against that divine edict and thought they could do a better job came down here and got messed up with human women. Oh, you women, you're all a bunch of such hotties. You even make the aliens come down for you. Kind of makes you wonder if we ever get into outer space, it's going to be a hard time to find a real date. What can I say? Everybody's coming to Earth. All right, kudos, America. Human women. Yippee-ki-yay. Look at my disclosure essays that I have on KosherTorah.com. I talk all about this there. Okay? A lot of secrets. The Heichal HaKadosh. That's not in space. That's not in time. That's the consciousness of which we speak. The center column of the ladder, which brings us all the way up to the top, so we can bring everything all the way back down to here. This is the expectation of what you can experience when you perform these techniques correctly And that is what this Mishnah is here to tell us, and why it is here to direct us. This is why the 7 is called beloved, the 12. The 12 is the sign of everything in space and time and even consciousness. 12 permutations of the name Yud-Keh, Vav-Keh, and beyond the holy fire. But okay, on that note, I've pretty much told you what you need to know. Of course, you can elaborate on this, but I've already done that for years on KosherTorah.com. Check out the courses that I have there. Check out the lessons. You will see and learn for yourself. And remember, experience is power. I'll see you all in our next class. God be willing, we'll get together to close up chapter 4.